Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful day today. Let's get into the message for today. So, first and foremost, the channeled song for today is Monster by Besomorph. And then we have numbers 711, 717, 123, 212, 911, and 611. We also have Dragon Ball, the anime was relevant here, as well as Transformers. We also got the Obsidian Stone. Hi, hello. As well as a dragon. And then an itchy left foot, which I found interesting. So someone's foot may be itchy, I don't know. But that is the signs and synchronicities for this read. Let's see what's happening, shall we? Hi, Danielle. Let's get into it. What astrological house is this reading going to be in today? Looks like we have the house of the subconscious and secrets with the number 12 here. Interesting. And what sign will that be in? Looks like 2 for Taurus with this little bone dice here. 2 for Taurus. So Taurus in the realm of the subconscious and secrets. Interesting. Let's get into runes to get a little bit more detail because Taurus in secrets and the subconscious is a very interesting combination. I don't know very many Taurus who are super secretive people. So let's see. They can be stubborn though, which could tie into that stubborn subconscious belief. Hi, hello. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your likes, my fellow night owls. Your likes, your comments, your shares, just for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Let's see. We have 2 runes here today with Ekvas for transformation. And what is this? Rideho for journey, a journey of transformation. A journey for transformation in subconscious and secrets in Taurus. Interesting. Let's get into charms. Charms for more details. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see. Oh, okay. We have a little dog here. So someone may have lost a pet recently, or you just really like dogs. We have the spotlight charm. So shining a light on something internally. The star for healing and hope. Okay. We have a little crown. Aw. Are we putting our crown on? Realizing what we're worth. A little crown here. And then we have the spiral charm. Whenever I see this, it tells me about spiral thinking. So when we get in our negative spirals, overanalyzing, overthinking tendencies. Interesting. So, what's going on here? Again, someone's foot may be itchy, specifically the left one. And that often symbolizes incoming travel plans, changes, or energy shifts. And since this is in the realm of subconscious and secrets, hi everyone, hello. Since this is in the realm of the subconscious and secrets in Taurus, there could be a change in the subconscious. Yeah, shining a light on something. Maybe about what we're actually loyal to. Spiral think, healing, hope, and putting our crown on. Interesting. Let's get into the tarot and see what we pick up here. I'm looking at my decks and I'm trying to figure out who wants to talk. I'm feeling this one. Steampunk wants to talk today. A lot of yellow as well. Today is the day of Jupiter. If you are watching live on Thursday, Thursday is the day of Jupiter, which is gold and orange, a day of manifestation, abundance, things of that nature. And yellow is all about confidence, self-confidence. Hello again, everyone, my fellow night owls. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with me this evening. I really appreciate you being here. Let's see. A ton of yellow. It's interesting. The dragon I got earlier was Shenron from Dragon Ball. So that's just really interesting that I have all this yellow and Dragon Ball came up so strong for me. It's just really interesting. So, what's going on with my collective today? Tell me more about this journey of transformation. Thank you. The Ace of Swords. We got some clarity, some new truth here. So, some truth. Let's see. Tell me more. What is this truth that my collective has discovered that's got them in this, like, what have I been loyal to this whole time? Yeah, Taurus can be a ride or die type of person, but sometimes it's to their detriment. Interesting. The Hermit. Oh, and the Nine of Wands. Okay. So I got 7-11, which is like Hermit energy as well. So it's funny that the Hermit came out along with that. So spiritual awakening, intuition, manifestation on the day of Jupiter. Fascinating. So some truth and clarity, internal work. Like I said, shining a light. That's funny. The Hermit is all about shining a light on our inner shadows, which is funny that I got this. And there's a Nine of Wands, so guarded. We're guarded to something. What are we guarded to? Yeah, it's like we're looking back at our inner truth here, shining a light on our inner truth, but we're guarded towards something in the future. It seems like we're a little bit beat up. Interesting. What are we guarded against? We're doing our hermit mode. We're doing some internal healing work. We're discovering our inner truth, but we're guarded. What are we guarded against? What is the collective guarded against at this time, Spirit? Tell me more. Thank you. The Three of Pentacles working together, and there's that Hierophant. I got 212, which adds up to 5, the number of the Hierophant, right? So balance, harmony, new beginnings, focusing on the spiritual path and the inner self. We're guarded towards working together with Spirit. Oh no. Okay, why is this? Why are you guarded against working with Spirit? Why? Why are they guarded? What happened? What happened, friend? What's got your hackles raised against Spirit? What happened? Tell me more, Spirit. It's like we're making some progress here. I got 1, 2, 3, and I have 717. So some double. Oh, 10 of Cups reversed. Okay. There's some sort of emotional fulfillment we're not having right now. We feel, we're guarded against working with Spirit because we feel like they're not listening to our requests. Yeah, we're not happy with where things are at the moment, so we're guarded against working with them. It's kind of like this energy of oh, my life has been crap this whole time, and now you show up. Where were you the whole time? It's kind of like that. Kind of like that energy happening. Tell me more, Spirit. It's like we are doing our inner work. So it's like we're trying to work with Spirit, but we're being a little bit like cautious. Yeah, the Magician reversed. Yeah. So this like, the Magician, 10 of Cups. Not happy with our lives, and then that spiral thing here, that back and forth of devil and lover's energy of self-sabotaging thought patterns versus balancing out our thought patterns. And it's like we're cautious on working with Spirit because we're not sure if working with them will actually bring it about. We've started the spiritual journey. We've started it. This is like when you start thinking about working with Spirit or starting manifestation, but it's still kind of woo-woo to you, so you're not entirely sure if it'll even work. So it's like stepping out of the matrix and starting to head into the new. 611, Strength card, quieting the inner demons. Energy, balance, action, manifestation. Yeah, it's like trying to start. But I got that song. Oh yeah, Seven of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, not happy with our lives. Not happy with our lives at the moment. But that energy is changing. Like I said, we're like cautious on working with spirit. We're a little guarded. But we are starting to like get into it. We're still a little cautious, but we're getting into it. Okay. I like to see this. Someone may have allergies or a cold because I've got the sniffles. And I do see the incense smoke coming over here for cleansing of negative energy. So yeah, working on negative thought processes, but still hesitant. Still a little hesitant. It's kind of like recognizing when you're like, wait, you mean I've been manifesting this entire time? It hasn't been just randomly happening to me and you kind of get mad about it. Okay, I got you. The very beginning of the journey. Interesting. Tell me more, Spirit. It's like the energy shift is incoming, a rapid change. So beginning the journey, getting into our inner truth, kind of meeting ourselves. Yeah, and tomorrow is December 12th. It's the 12/12 portal, which is all about the Hanged Man. So big perspective shifts, this clarity, right? This clarity. I'm showing up. I'm trying to work on my thought process. Is it going to work? We're waiting for when it starts working to fully dive in. Got it. Yeah, 2 of Wands. Not quite making plans. We're working on getting rid of the internalized pain, but we're still not quite making plans just yet because we're waiting to see. It's kind of like a test run. A test run. Yeah, we want the victory. A test run of balancing out those things, the Lovers, right? The Lovers often, this is not a romantic reading, right? Because it's in the house of the subconscious and secrets. And the Lovers card, when it's not in a romantic read, also represents our inner balance within. It represents choices, right? We have our divine feminine side, which is our intuitive, nurturing, creative side. And then we have our inner masculine side, which is the ambitious go-getter energy, the one who goes out and does all the hard work. Right? All of the innovation and the development and stuff like that. And the inner feminine is the one who is all the creative types and gets all the guidance from spirit, right? And then they work together to bring forth our life, right? So we're trying to get that little victory of that before we fully make plans. It's like a trial period. Yeah, little trial period just to see if working with spirits really... It's something we all do, right? We get to a point in our lives, if you start waking up, right? We get to a point in our lives where we kind of realize we've been an NPC in our own life. And we go through a moment of being totally lost in the void, not really sure what life's meaning even is. And then we find that little bit of hope from spirit. And we start trying to incorporate those practices, but we're not quite sure if it'll work yet. It's like maybe, like that last bit of effort. Yeah. Waiting for when spirit drops that confirmation that we're not absolutely insane. May have been seeing a lot of angel numbers recently, and that may have been weird. Looking them up, that's not really been something you've dealt with before. Sideways. Yeah, Page of Cups, sideways. This is our current energy. When I see sideways cards like this, that often tells me that that's our current energy. We can go either or, right? The Page of Cups is all about holding a fish in our cup. It's very strange. It's a very strange thing. Normally, if you saw a fish in your cup, you would put the cup down, put the fish away, because that's strange. But the Page of Cups is all about beginning things of emotions, of feelings, of creativity, right? All this blue here as well, expression, self-expression. So it's like it's It's the energy of stepping into something we've never stepped into before, in the creative realms, in the emotional realms, those types of things. And with that sideways, it's like, okay, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to just go completely for it, completely imaginative, completely put all my emotions into it, or if I'm just going to ignore it, right? That's where we're at. That's where we're at right now. Tell me more. That tentative first step before you do the full leap. Yeah, you may be starting to do like, okay, asking spirit to show you specific signs. And then when they do, you're like, is that just me looking for it and it's suddenly showing up? Is that actually a sign from spirit? It's like the very beginning journey of working with spirit, where we're wondering if we're just losing our minds or if it's actually real. Love that. Hello, everyone. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with me this evening, my fellow night owls. I hope you're all doing well. We have the King of Swords here in the reverse. Yeah, we may be hypercritical of our own creativity, of our own emotions, of our own like inner whimsy as well. We be heavily critical of those things. Or, there's someone in our lives, probably a father figure, who discouraged any of this. And that may be why we're so resistant to going after our inner whimsy. But again, we're doing that internal work and looking at our inner truth and putting our own crown on, because why would you be loyal to a thought process that hurts you from someone else? Interesting. Tell me more, Spirit. A little bit more, and then I'll move on to the next part. Thank you. Yeah. We're overly critical of it because perhaps we're not really seeing the abundance that comes after it, right? The Nine of Pentacles is the mini Empress. They're the person who is in their own garden. They're surrounded by abundance. They're like, they've got nice clothes. They've got money. They're in their own garden. They're minding their own business in their own lane. They have a falcon here, which is messengers from the divine. And normally the falcon would have a blindfold on, showcasing that we're comfortable with not necessarily knowing where we're going. But in this one, the falcon does not have a blindfold on. So it's like we're getting the 411 from spirit. We're just not quite ready to accept that yet. Yeah, we're not quite sure just yet that we're in this garden, kind of stepping into our own power and seeing all of the abundance that's around us. We're not there yet. It's kind of like we're picking things apart and we're like, I can't manifest that. No way. Absolutely not. There's no way. Yeah, that very beginning of what? Yes. So that's cool. It's like changing our subconscious beliefs. And we're doing this internally. So we haven't necessarily told anybody that we're doing this. We're kind of feeling it out for ourselves right now at this time. Tell me more. Thank you. Yeah, the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, it's like, it's this belief that there's no way that I can just manifest my own inner power. There's no way. There's no way I can whimsy myself into my abundance, right? I have to work hard and endure. Yeah, it's the typical feeling of I have to work hard and endure in order to bring that in. That's been kind of like what's been instilled in you from birth. So now you're getting to a point where you've been doing that and it's not giving you the results that you want. So it's like, what have I been doing this whole time? Why? And we're just now looking at spirit and going, there's no way I can manifest that, because that would challenge everything I've ever learned growing up. That would challenge my reality. And if I actually did, well, then what? then I have to realize that everything I've lived up to now was a lie. And what do I do when that happens? Welcome back, Danielle. Yeah, it's kind of like being, that's why we're guarded. We're guarded towards working with spirit, right? Because we're like, I'm already banged up and bruised, and I don't know what would happen if I actually did this and it worked. And then I have to look back at my life and go, well, why have I been doing it this way this entire time when I could have just been manifesting? Yeah, and that's sideways. So yeah, we have the Page of Cups, right? Like I said, we have the Page of Cups. When it's sideways, that means that's the current energy we're in. It can be either or, right? Do we chase our whimsy that makes absolutely no rational sense and go into our self-expression and all of that stuff? Or do we ignore it and continue going with the status quo, right? And then this, the Queen of Wands, is all about inner power, right? Hello, Stormborn. It's all about our inner power, right? The Queen of Wands is the manifestation queen. You don't have to be a woman to have Queen of Wands energy. We all have both, right? But this is the person who calls in your dreams. They literally take the whimsy and they make it happen. They just do, right? That's the energy we're currently in. We're still kind of cautious about working with spirit, and we're wrestling back and forth with that old thought pattern of I have to work hard and suffer to bring things into my life. There's no way that I can manifest my happiness, my life, through embracing my inner whimsy, right? That's literally where we're at. And we have that little crown here. I had the little crown. Thank you so much for your likes. Thank you. We're trying to, it's like we're right about to put this little crown on. But right now we're shining a light on what we've been loyal to this whole time, right? We're currently shining a light on what we've been loyal to this whole time and asking ourselves if that's really, if that's really what was worth our time and effort, right? With the spiral here. Thank you so much, Man Ray. Just asking those questions. Yeah, was it worth my time? Right? There's no way I can manifest my happiness. Are you kidding me? That's where we're at. But we're feeling crazy. We're feeling a bit crazy, overburdened with these lies, overburdened with these thought processes and patterns that have told us that we can't do that. Right? It's like, well, if it was all about who could suffer the most and all of that, why haven't you brought that in yet? If you're working 80 plus hours a week at a job you hate and you're only sleeping, eating, working, sometimes skipping one or the other, right? Never the work part though. It's usually skipping the sleeping or the eating part. If we're already upset where we're at and we're already busting our ass and we're not getting the stability like everyone says, that would be why we would be looking back and going, what have I been doing this whole time? Has this really been worth it? Have I been actually manifesting my own unhappiness? And no one likes that. No one likes that thought process because it's scary. It's like, wait, does that mean I've been wasting my time? Yeah. Does that mean that I have to leave everything I've built to this point? Does that mean I have to go? Well, if it's a shaky foundation, if what you're on hasn't been working, then it's not a stable foundation, right? We want our 10 of Pentacles. We want our legacy. We want our abundance. We want our family. We want our subconscious belief is that we must constantly overwork. We must constantly suffer in order to bring in our happiness. But then we're being told that there's a different way, right? Because we've been doing the suffering and the overworking part and we're still not getting the results we want. But there's a different way, and it's scary because it's like, if it's true, what have I been doing this whole time? Why have I been wasting my time? Why did everybody lie to me? You know, we're at that part. We're at that part of, well, if in order to be happy, I have to carry all these burdens, I have to live in this lie and leave behind. Like, I don't want to leave behind what I have because then I won't be able to get we're resisting We're in that part where we're still a bit resistant to the foundation crumbling. So I told you, you're on a shaky foundation right now. This belief system is very shaky. Currently, we're in that part where the foundation's rocking back and forth. We're in the lightning strike moment. We're in that lightning strike moment where we're having those realizations and going, wait, but what if working with spirit, what if doing it different brings that in? Then what? You know? So we have our what? We're having a bit of a crisis of faith at the moment, a bit of a crisis on our subconscious. Yeah, we got that Taurus. So at the moment, we're stubbornly resisting. We're still really guarded towards it, but we're heading that direction, right? Feeling called to use this deck. So let's get into why you need to hear this at this time. And again, thank you all for being here, my little night owls. I know it's quite late. Thank you for your likes and your shares. I've seen you guys asking questions. I apologize. I'm focused really hard on these messages. I will let everyone know now that this is a collective read. I don't do personals on live because your business should remain yours. It should not be put all over the internet. That's just my personal belief. But if you do want personal readings, I offer those at the link in my bio. Feel free to check it out. I'm more than happy to answer your questions there. Yes. You never know. Stay here for a while. I might answer it throughout the collective read. Why you need to hear this at this time is because you're trying to get your priorities straight. This is a moment in time where you're not quite sure. You're having that crisis of faith. We're going, there's no way I can just embrace my inner woo-woo, my inner delusion, my inner whimsy, and actually manifest my life in happiness, right? There's no way, right? Hi, Natty. So we're in that in-between of trying to figure out if we continue or not. Look, he's got on 2 different pairs of socks. Like we are currently, which way do I go? Do I embrace my inner whimsy? Do I embrace working with spirit? It can't be that easy, right? Maybe if I just suffer a bit more, maybe if I just keep grinding, maybe if I just, we're in that back and forth, not quite sure. Definitely Taurus vibes. I'm not sure. I need to know that it's more stable before I get on the foundation. You're already on a shaky foundation, friend. You're in the lightning strike moment. Why else do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit? Yeah, this 9/11 moment. The Justice and the High Priestess. Calling in your justice and following your intuition. Yeah, King of Wands and the 9 of Cups in the reversed. Oh, and there's a Queen of Wands here. So the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves. They're trying to balance, right? Because we have the Queen of Wands here in the sideways. We're still not sure if we can call this forward. Thank you for the follows and the likes. Oh my goodness. We're still not quite sure. Back and forth, right? If I do more of the masculine side, if I get more ambitious, if I keep going, if I keep burning the candle, maybe I'll bring it, right? Like, neither of them's looking at the happiness, by the way. Neither of them's looking. They're not looking at the 9 of Cups, the wish card. That's it's kind of funny, right? Both of our sides aren't even looking at our unfulfilled wish, right? The King of Wands is too busy looking over here at whether or not, which way to go. We have our unfulfilled wish in the back, or we're not even happy at the moment. And we have our feminine side, the creative, motivational, all of our energy, and desire and will, right? Our actual desire for change, our desire to make things different is looking towards the future. And it's funny because our unfulfilled wish, our current being unhappy, is also facing towards the future. And you see this little cat here? The Queen of Wands has a black cat with her. Not only does she have all of her motivation and willpower, the wands represent motivation, willpower, energy, those types of things. She also has her little sunflower of optimism. And then this little black cat represents intuition. Our intuition is looking at our unfulfilled wishes. That's why we're having that call. And we're having this desire for change. King of Wands is too busy looking back over here, looking back at the past, looking back at the past energies of which way do I go? Which way do I go? Which way do I go? Do I continue doing what I've been doing? Do I continue working this hard? What do I do? Maybe if I pick up another side hustle. Maybe if I transfer to a new department. Maybe if I don't know, wake up earlier. Maybe if I meditate harder. Maybe if I stuff my feelings down a bit more, I will figure it out, right? Why else do they need to hear this at this time? Yeah, and the funny thing is, the King of Wands, oftentimes in traditional tarot, he has a little lizard down here. You're not going to see it on this card, but there's a little lizard down here, and it's because a lot of people, when they see the King of Wands, right, they don't really take him seriously because he doesn't necessarily have the plans to go forward with his ambition. He doesn't have the heart to go forward with the ambition, like the emotions, and he doesn't necessarily have the resources or the stability to go forth. All he has is his passion, his imagination, and his inspiration, right? What people don't realize is that that little gecko is just as much a king as all the other kings, right? The King of Wands is a dragon. I got dragons earlier, which is all about power, wisdom, transformation, and protection, right? Because this little fire here, it always starts with a little fire, a little spark. It starts with a little spark. And what do we know about fire? The more you feed it, the bigger it gets, the more it grows. The more inspiration and motivation you get, the bigger it grows. So that little lizard becomes a dragon the more he chases after his motivations and ambitions. And we have the King of Cups here. What did I say this was? Right? We're busy at the moment drowning a bit in our emotions. We're still going back and forth on which way to go. I am obviously not happy where I am. This current thought pattern is not serving me, right? And we're guarded against it. There's no way that I can embrace my inner whimsy and manifest what I want. There's no way that I am actually able of manifesting things into my life because I'm currently in the reality of I have to suffer and work hard. There's something inherently wrong with me personally that I just have to work myself over and over again until I crumble into the dust in order to bring forth my happiness at some point in the future where I may not even be able to enjoy that future because I've worked too hard and I now am in bed with medical bills, right? We're in our head about it, a little bit bitter, a little cynical. There's no way. If it truly is that case, then what have I been doing? Yes. Why else do they need to hear this at this time? And it's not like you wasted your time. That's something we all do, that really extreme thinking of, well, if it's true that I could just manifest it, then everything I did up until this point was a waste. No. You built up your skills. You built up your ability to have a work ethic, to handle things under pressure, to make the decisions you made. To get to this point, you had to go through this. So it wasn't necessarily a waste of time because now you can apply all of that energy you put into something you didn't even enjoy into a life you actually want. And you don't have to suffer the whole way through. Like, yeah. Yeah, the Six of Wands. Oh, and the Six of Cups in the reverse. 2 sixes. Balance and harmony. Right? Let me turn that down just a little bit. There you go. So, the Six of Cups in reversed is like new energy. New energy. It's not past memories, right? It's not nostalgia. So, the key to our parade, our success, is by not staying in that past cycle. Yeah. It's like, yeah, we have those memories, we have that thought process, but they're not going to serve us moving forward. They're better used as tools than they are as a lifestyle. Why else do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit? Thank you. Yeah, again, because we're guarded. We're guarded against our own victory. We're not sure, right? We're guarded. We're not sure. We're kind of like, you see how the sphinxes here aren't moving? They're facing the opposite directions. The sphinxes represent our more intuitive side, our optimistic side, and then our shadow side here, right? The side that listens to the intuition, and the side that is kind of more ego-based, based off of the projections of people in the past, right? They're our thought process, our subconscious beliefs. When we're leaning too heavily on one, we end up going in circles a bunch, because you need both in sync to drive the chariot forward, right? It's interesting because both of them are looking in the same direction, but our ego is looking backwards. So if they're not moving, we're not going anywhere. We're at a bit of a standstill because we are afraid of our own. Yeah, we're guarded. The shadow side is looking towards the guarded. There's no way that I can manifest what I want. Because again, if I did, what have I been living my whole life for? What have I been living my whole life for if it really was that easy? A lot of people think that like embracing your whimsy and getting into syncing up with higher vibrations to call forth what we want is easy. It is not. In order to get to that point in your life, you must first go through living in the matrix for a while. Everybody has gone through the same journey of realizing that they wake up as an NPC in their own life and they have to be confronted with their own BS. They have to look at their shadow side. They have to come face to face with their subconscious belief, and they have to work through that subconscious belief. It is not an easy journey, but the results are well worth the effort, right? It's not necessarily the same as, oh, I had to endure and suffer and burn the candles at both ends in order to bring it in, right? It's more of, I had to learn a lot of lessons in order to choose myself. First, I had to listen to everyone else's opinions in order to realize that I have free will and I can I have the power to choose my own direction. Yes. Why else do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit? Thank you. Yeah, the High Priestess. That intuition, that intuitive nudge, like I said before. It's like the intuitive nudge of, friend, you are not fulfilled. You are not fulfilled. This current lifestyle that we are living, we are not happy in it. We need to look at it. Look at it. Why are we not happy? Why do we feel so out of control of our own life? Why do we feel like an NPC in our own life? You're supposed to be the main character of your life, right? You're supposed to be the lead role of your own movie. So why do we feel like an NPC? Yeah, it's because we're not working with our opportunities. We're not working with the opportunities being presented by Spirit because we're guarded. It doesn't look like what we've been taught, so we're rebelling against it. Yeah, it's against the traditions we've been taught, so we're afraid to work with it. We're cautious. Now, again, we're looking within ourselves. We're starting this journey of tentatively stepping forward and looking to Spirit for signs and getting started on this little journey here to change what we've been loyal to our whole lives and put our crown on. That very first fresh start, where we haven't really seen any of the confirmations because we haven't yet recognized how to see them yet. Yeah, we're already dissatisfied. We're already bored with our lives. We're focusing over here, and it's like this constant not looking at what's being offered, not looking at it, not working with it. That doesn't mean you're bad or wrong, right? Everyone has been here before. Everyone has been here before. Even myself, right? Everybody that like does tarot, everyone who walks the spiritual path was here before, of waking up, realizing they were an NPC in their own life and having to go through this same exact process. Thank you. Yeah, but that's changing. Again, we had that itchy left foot, which signifies incoming travel changes or energy shifts. And again, tomorrow is December 12th, the 12/12 portal, right? Which is the Hanged Man, the huge portal of shifts of perspective. Neptune just went direct as well, starting today. So that confusion, that memory fog, everything being murky, not really knowing which way to go, has subsided. And it was in Aries, which is all about starting new things, motivation, drive, going after stuff, right? It's gone direct now, which means that clarity is coming in. Thank you so much for the roses. Thank you. It's coming in, this energy shift, this truth, right? Your truth, the truth you're shining a light on is coming in. Yeah, leaving behind the deception, our own self-deception, the deceptions from others, whether malicious or no, that is coming in. Why else do they need to hear this at this time? Thank you. Yeah, because where we're at right now, the things we've invested into, those ships are not coming in. We're not getting the results. All this hard work, all this suffering, following the status quo, following the lies we've been told, the ships aren't coming to the harbor. They're not showing up. Despite us waiting patiently for them, despite us putting in the work, they're not showing up. So it's time to leave it behind. It's time to leave the thought process and the words behind, right? That's you and your little inner child here, right? The one who was told all of these things, the one that was shaped by them, right? Your little inner confidence here. Yellow is about inner confidence. See, white is about purity and innocence and intuition. So it's like our intuition, our inner child, and our inner self-confidence are on the boat, leaving behind the old mindset. That is why. Yep. That is why. We've been spending all of this time being unhappy and trying to figure out what we need to do in our external world in order to bring in more into our lives. But what we really need to be doing is what we're doing right now, is stepping into the other thing. If what you've been doing has not been working, it's time to try a different way. Yeah, if you've been busting your ass doing the same thing over and over again, and it's not bringing it in, it's time to do a different thing. Time to do it a different way. That one did it up. Yep. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Look at all these burdens. These burdens were it's time to stop. Yeah. Look at all these burdens we're carrying, all these wands, all these hopes and these dreams that we're kind of just keeping on the side. Other people's motivations, aspirations, and dreams on our back. And we're just carrying them around, hoping that it'll bring something in. But we're disappointed. We're in regret because they're not ours. They're not really ours. The things we actually, like, we have these two cups, these things that we actually want still here in the background, waiting for us to turn around. But what we've been putting work into isn't working. If you hear noises in the background, that's just my kiddo. Don't worry about him. He's having fun over there. He's a night owl like me. Now we're already carrying these burdens. It's time to put the sticks down and go after like the ones you actually want. You're carrying other people's wants. You don't need them. You don't need them. Let them carry their own sticks. Why should you be carrying them? Why else? Yeah, the song Monster by Bessamorph talks about monster being created. Yeah, the King of Pentacles in reverse. We don't feel abundant. All the work we've been doing, all the suffering we've been doing has not brought the abundance that we've been promised. So it's time to lay down the sticks that weren't ours to begin with and do our own thing. And I know you're aware of this. That's why we're here, because we're not sure which way to go. And the message is, put down the sticks that aren't yours. Yeah, we're not going after what we actually want. Another cup. Another cup. Spirit's literally handing you these cups, and you're not paying attention. Yeah, it's like we're trying to offer you the cup and you're guarded against working with us. Understandably so. We feel like nothing's going right. We're not happy. We feel like the universe is kind of pulling our leg. They're not. They're here to pull you out of the anxiety and out of the self-sabotage. They're here to help you. They've been trying to help you this whole time. They've been trying to help you. So now that you feel like there's no way it could be that easy, well, if what you've been doing has not been yielding the results, and I mean, if you're seriously considering another side hustle, right? Another side hustle, another course on why you need to change your communication style in order to keep people around in your life who don't really deserve to be in your life, because they should also be putting in the effort to make that relationship work, not just you, right? Why are you still there? Oh, that's fine. Whenever I shuffle, right, these kinds of cards here, I consider them undercurrents, right? Not making plans. I generally don't listen to them because to me, they're like a blocked message. They don't want to be heard yet. If they wanted to be heard, they'd be here. It's like, yeah, we're not making the plans. Spirit wants to help you with this, but they can't help you if you don't accept the help. Now, we deal with it because we were taught that that's the way things should be. We were taught that that's comfortable, that that's okay. And it's not. That's just what everybody else says it is, right? Because they choose to suffer. They've all been taught the same thing. In order to be happy in life, you must suffer, you must break your back, you must put up with things you don't deserve, right? And they tell everyone else. They repeat the cycle over and over again. Because if they didn't, they would have to realize that they willingly put up with things they didn't deserve. And people don't want to work through that belief of willfully going through bullshit. People don't like confronting that truth. I didn't, right? I didn't. No one does. But once you start confronting that and you go, wow, I really didn't deserve that, and you walk away from it and you stop putting up with it, right? That's where the whimsy comes in. Last one, and I'll go into what you even need to be doing about this. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you. Give me one more, Spirit, on why they need to hear this at this time. Thank you. Yeah, we're currently, that's that Taurus energy. We're currently holding on. We're currently holding on to it. We're comfortable in the current situation because we know the song and dance. We know the pattern. New means scary. We don't know. We already know the pain. We're already comfortable in the pain. So we don't want to leave the pain because new pain is scary. We don't know how to handle new pain. At least not yet. We're not quite confident in that area yet. So we have what's happening with you now, this little crisis of faith, this realizing your truth and coming to terms with, oh, life isn't how I wanted it to be, and there's no way I could just manifest a new life. There's no way I'm powerful enough to change, to be different, to bring forth my happiness without doing all this suffering, resisting that tower moment, trying to hold on to a shaky foundation because we think something might come out of it. And we have our why you need to hear it. right? Why you're even here on this video at this time, going back and forth on our priorities, trying to figure out how we need to change, how we need to do all these things in order to have other people bring us the respect that we should have gotten from the jump. Not necessarily paying attention to our unfulfilled wishes and desiring change, but not sure how to do it, drowning in our emotions, and resisting our own victory, right? Resisting it because we're comfortable in the familiar pain and we're not sure how to jump into the new. So, I do see the clearing of negative energies. Yes, Spirit is always with you, my friend. Your Father is always with you. You can talk to him at any time. They'll visit. They always will. Let's see. What do they even need to do about this at this time, Spirit? We have a sideways card. Whenever I see sideways, that always tells me that this is a current energy. It can go either or. And this is the Four of Pentacles. We just saw this one here. You see how they're holding on to all these pentacles? That's usually the holding on to things, that Taurus energy. 1, 2, 3, 4 is all about progression and taking steps. So you are on your little steps. You're heading in the right direction. Sideways, the Four of Coins with Epiphron. You notice how all those hands are on him, holding him back a little bit? Sideways. Do we go into our scarcity and lack mindset of if I stay here, right? If I stay here, at least I'm comfortable with the familiar. At least I know what to do next. Or if I leave, no one will ever love me. If I start anew, I'll never be able to bring in the good in my life. Right? What are you talking about, friend? If this is about a relationship, right, and you're not quite sure how to leave, you were single once before and you were just fine. You're inherently lovable. Your life is not suffering. Look, we feel like this, Pena, the literal goddess of suffering. This is how we feel. Right now we're not sure. Do I stay? Do I stay in this mindset? Do I stay where I'm at? Do I continue to put up with the same song and dance that I know sucks, that I know nothing's going to come out of, even though I'm trying to make something come out of it? Or do I leave? And do I just stand in my own power? Do I stand in my own power with Atalanta? That Eight of Wands, that rush of energy, that moving forward quickly, all this smoke. Do I leave behind this negative bullshit and head towards my greatness? Look at the difference. Look at the difference here. Someone who's same skin tone, same hair color, same garment even, same color garment. You're already that beautiful, friend. You know why you don't feel beautiful? Because you're looking down. You don't have your face forward. Okay? They look exactly the same. She just doesn't have her head up. Okay? Do we stay in our suffering or do we chase after what we actually want? Just because something is unfamiliar, just because we do not know what waits for us at the other side, does not mean that it's going to hurt us. And I mean, goodness gracious, you've already been through enough of this that whatever's in store, whatever they've got, is a cakewalk. Okay? You're already not happy here. You're already not happy here. You already desire the change. Make the change. Otherwise, you're willfully choosing for it to stay the same. Because if it's a relationship, no, scratch that. You know your situation, right? I'm going to give you this truth, whether you like it or not. Whatever your situation is, you've been through the song and dance. You're familiar with the rhythms. You're familiar with the moves. You're an expert at this dance. You already know it's not going to change. You've been busting your ass. You've been putting in the work. You've been suffering, and it's literally brought you nothing but more pain. You think maybe if I just get more beautiful at the dance, maybe if I become more of an expert. Your dance partner's not dancing with you. So leave. Go do a new dance. You're already doing the whole dance on your own. You're already showing up. You're already putting in the work. You're already doing all the things. And it's not bringing you what you want. So leave. Take your energy elsewhere. Because all that beautiful energy you're already putting into your life at this moment, whatever you are currently fighting with inside your heart right now, all that beautiful energy you're putting in, right? Because you're both the king and the queen of wands at this moment in time. I got both of them. You are the king and the queen. They need to be facing this way. You're currently this way. Your intuition's looking back at your little king of wands here. You can go. It may not be easy, but you can go. Children are not a chain and ball. There are plenty of single parents out there who can tell you that. Right? Your masculine side and your feminine side need to be on the same page. Currently, your masculine side keeps trying to figure out how to make the changes in order to earn the respect you should have had in the first place. You already have a crown. You have a crown. You're already doing all the work. You're already the crown. You're already crowned. You're going to go take that beautiful crown energy wherever you go and you're going to apply it there. You're already the king. You're already the queen. You're already the ruler. You're already the person with the crown on. Whatever you're dealing with is not meeting you at your level. I just got a notification. You inspired them and they pretended to not notice. Interesting. So, yeah. Where you're at, where you're applying all this beautiful, gorgeous motivation, desire, passion, creativity, and fire is not returning the favor. And it's time to go put it elsewhere. Wherever that is. You know your situation best, right? I'm just here to tell you what I'm seeing, and it's an overarching energy of passion, fire, drive, motivation, and willpower. You're already an inspiring person. You're already an absolutely gorgeous ball of fire. You're already a very confident individual. You're already very optimistic. You're already in your power, friend. You just don't realize it yet. You're the main character of your own life. Act like it. Thank you. Yeah. I'm the Queen of Cups. You're already this gorgeous person. You have your crown on. If you're a parent, you're already a fantastic parent. The Six of Cups is all about memories, childhood memories, right? And again, I got that dark-haired feminine in the white robe, in the white gown. So someone here could have brown hair, blue eyes, white skin. Doesn't have to be, but that's what I'm getting. You see all these beautiful butterflies, that transformation, looking back at our memories and transforming them. And like, look, she's literally looking back at them, transforming them, turning them into something else. Yeah, you could also have darker eyes, but I have a darker haired woman on my screen with white skin and blue eyes, and then I have white skin, darker hair, brown eyes. So that's somebody. Someone who's already gorgeous. Someone who's already gorgeous. Oh, thank you. Someone who's already gorgeous, who is putting in way too much love and effort in something that isn't giving it back. The sun. Going after the sun. You notice how they're all heading in this direction? Towards Helios, towards the sun, towards the happiness. That's what we need to be doing. Instead of sitting here in the suffering, instead of going, oh, but if I stay here, at least I know the suffering. Maybe it'll change. Maybe it'll change. If I just get good at suffering, maybe it'll change. No. No. You never should have been suffering in the first place. Period. Whoever told you that it was okay for you to sit in silence and suffer is an asshole. Respectfully. Actually, not respectfully. Whoever told you it was okay for you to bust your ass, right? if this is about like bringing in your abundance, whoever told you it was okay for you to bust your ass working overtime, never getting enough sleep, never even being able to enjoy the money you do bring in, never having enough to eat, never being able to afford all of our bills, being in credit card debt, suffering. You never deserve suffering. Everyone's allowed to make mistakes. Okay? Nobody deserves suffering. That is a lie. You don't get punished. It's not a penitence, right? You made a simple choice. That person did not show up and meet you where you were at. That does not mean you deserved the bullshit you went through and are continuing to go through. No, that's victim blaming. You're blaming yourself. What are you doing? You're not the problem, right? Sure, you made the choice. Got it. The person causing the problem, or where you're at right now, the job that's treating you like crap, whatever it is a shitty person. The end. You don't deserve it. What are you talking about? Did you harm someone? Do you need to be in jail? What did you do to deserve it? A choice? No. If your best friend said the same thing to you, if your child said the same thing to you, you would automatically tell them no. So why are you telling yourself that you deserve your own suffering? What are you talking about? And I'm not yelling at you. I'm coming at you. I know I'm coming at you a little intense here, but I mean it. Right? That is narcissistic behavior, friend. He's not the law. This feeling of, okay, let me ask you something. When do you feel like your sentence is over? When will you be done atoning? How long do you think the jail sentence is? Because I think you're self-sabotaging. And so does spirit. You're watching me. Why do you need all their forgiveness? They're not going to forgive you. The spirit says you've suffered enough, and you're the one holding yourself back. I don't know what you did, friend, but spirit's clearly saying that now is not the time. Yeah, we're in our Empress reversed. No, he won't. If he's not now, he won't. No. And that doesn't mean that you're unlovable. That doesn't mean that you deserve it, okay? Right now, we're in our Empress. We're not happy at all, okay? We're not happy at all. We're not in our Empress energy. That's our little shadow side here, right? I deserve this suffering. I had a fall from grace. I don't deserve my crown. I don't deserve to be the main character in my life because XYZ. Because of all these reasons why I deserve to be beaten, broken, all these things. I deserve this punishment. And Spirit says, if you don't get up out of here with that BS. Yeah. 3 of Wands in reversed. It's not bringing anything in but more suffering. Karma was dished out, right? If you betrayed people and you got your karma, cool. At some point, karma stops happening. You eventually do actually balance it out. Spirit doesn't come around and go, okay, you get a lifetime full of suffering. They don't do that. They go, okay, you put yourself in your own mental prison and you can come out when you feel like you've atoned enough. And sometimes Spirit says, why are you still in there? It's been 10 years. Do you think you have to live your entire life suffering? Life is not about suffering. We learn lessons, yes, but it's not about suffering until we die. That's not the point. The point is to balance out your karma. The point is to choose yourself. The point is to come here and learn the lessons that you signed up for before you were born. And then you move on. Sideways, Nine of Swords, the god of nightmares, the god of anxiety, the god of fear. That's where we're at. These two directly correlate with each other. Anxiety, fear, the things that keep us up at night. How do you pick your new path? You follow your whimsy, you follow your heart, you follow your inner child, you follow what lights up your soul. That thing that brings you happiness, friend. You continue to follow your intuition, the thing that whispers. Fear and anxiety and panic scream. Intuition whispers. It's the thing that you can't quite put away. It's that calling that's been calling at you for many, many years, that you feel in your bones. The thing that you're like, there's no way I could do that. There's no way. There's no way that that could be the number one thing. There's no way that I could be a tarot reader. There's no way that I could be a florist. There's no way, there's no way, there's no way. Judgment. Judgment's being called, friend. You've suffered enough. It's time to get up and get out of your mental prison. That's literally Athena. You can argue with her. The goddess of wisdom, judgment. You've suffered enough. You're destroying yourself for no reason at all. And I don't know why we're putting so much weight into the words of someone who's willingly inflicting suffering. It's fine to be mad. It's fine to let people know that they've hurt you. It's not okay to hold it over their head for the rest of their life. And it's not okay for you to do the same to yourself. Yes, you feel bad. Yes, you want to repent. You're not going to get that forgiveness from people. You need to find your own closure. You need to forgive yourself. Queen of Swords. Find your truth, friend. Queen of Swords is someone who speaks their truth. They know. They have a good brain. They are intelligent. They already know. You need to know your truth. You need to stop being overly critical with yourself, berating yourself, and stabbing yourself in the heart. Okay? Stop using your brain to hurt you. And get fair. The Four of Swords. Yeah. Taking a break. A pause. You need to stop using your own brain to further damage yourself and inflict more suffering. Stop wishing that the memories will just dissipate, that you'll just forget them. No. Yeah, and right yourself. And stop drowning in your own emotions. Everybody gets a redemption arc. Everyone gets a second chance. Even if it's not with that specific person. You don't just suffer and suffer and suffer. I made one mistake. I actually feel bad about it. I want to do something about it. I want to repent for it. So now I'm in jail for the rest of my life. I can't ever be happy. I can't ever find happiness. No, that's not how that works. Because the people who are truly evil, the people who will probably repeat this lifetime, repeat this life lesson, are the people who never felt bad about doing it in the first place. Yeah. That's interesting. Because the Hierophant upright is usually following traditions. In this deck with Dionysus specifically, this is the rebellion card, but he's in the reversed. That's interesting. I want to understand what they're talking about by this, because we're not sticking with the tried and true of suffering is all we know. We can only suffer. We have to continue the same cycle of pain and hurt. So Spirit, clarify this Hierophant in reversed here. I doubt you're telling them to stick to the pain and the suffering. That's not what they're about at all. Clarify, please. Clarify the Hierophant in the reverse, please. I see that card that's flipped over. Under Layers of Healing. Yeah, we're in that healing space. The healing. Stick to the healing path, perhaps. Clarify this Hierophant in the reverse, please. Get out of drowning in your own emotions of wishing that you could just forget all the bad memories. Stick to your happiness. 10 of Cups. Remember how earlier I had the Hierophant upright with the Ten of Cups in the reversed? We're afraid to work with spirit. We feel like our life sucks and that it's all of our fault. It's all our fault. It's like yes and no. Our subconscious belief drives our reality. Now we have the Hierophant in the reversed and the Ten of Cups upright. Stick to your happiness. Right? What is your happiness? What would make you happy? If you're not happy where you're at, stop staying there. If you already know it's not going to get better, stop staying there. Two of Cups and the Star and the Tower. Yep, I see. Remember, we had the resisting the Tower, resisting this perspective shift, resisting letting the foundation fall. Because we may be stuck to the idea that family must look this way. Well, they're my family. I've been with them for this long. I don't really care who they are, right? And this is speaking as someone who has a partner and who has children. I don't really care who they are. I don't care how long you've been married. I don't care what kind of person they were at the start. If they are hurting you, it's time to go. That's not a family. That's a broken home. And every minute that you stay suffering teaches those that come next what love looks like. You got to accept that. You got to accept that truth. Okay, let the Tower fall. Because you deserve better. You deserve reciprocal energy, right? Whether that's relationships, whether that's a relationship with yourself, whether that's bringing in your own life, whether that's going after new career paths. You know your story best. And that's where you get your healing. You're not going to heal until you leave behind the part that's hurting you. You cannot heal in the environment that hurts you. They'll see you healing and they will damage it every time. What else do they need to do at this time, Spirit? Thank you. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. Work hard on that. Work hard on that. Your healing, your happiness is what deserves the hard work. Not trying to please somebody else, not trying to bring in more suffering, none of that, okay? Yeah, and Chiron is the immortal healer. He's the wounded healer, the immortal wounded healer. All that beautiful transformation energy. Turn your pain into your power, friends. Don't forget your memories. Those memories give you the power. You were forged in fire. Your crown is literally built from those memories. Put your crown on. Put your crown on and go love yourself. What else do they need to do at this time, Spirit? This is such a heavy energy. I'm really sorry for you going through this. This is rough. I've been where you are before. I've been in this type of, like I said, people who've woken up and been in a spiritual journey, they've had their dark night of the soul. They've gone through this. They've woken up and realized that they were invisible in their own life and NPC and felt like life sucked. And that's all they were ever going to know, that they deserved the treatment they were getting. Some of us went through abusive relationships and completely understand that feeling. Six of Wands in the reversed and the Eight of Swords. Yeah, we need to leave behind this mental prison of not being celebrated. If people are not celebrating you, celebrate yourself. Because like I said, you're the King and the Queen of Wands. You're already putting forth all this beautiful energy. Just because whoever this is or whoever this job is or whatever it is not celebrating you doesn't mean that you're unlovable. It doesn't mean that you're not putting in enough effort. It doesn't mean any of that. Okay? So I want for you to love on yourself. I want for you to treat yourself. I want for you to, however you can do that. Whether it's just making yourself a really delicious coffee in the morning and stirring, I'm going to tell you now, if you want to invite more sweetness into your life, I'm going to give you a little pointer here as a little witchy poo myself. If you want to invite sweetness and happiness into your life, this is going to sound woo-woo and delusional, that's fine. You don't got to believe me. Give it a try. If you want to bring more sweetness and happiness into your life, put some sugar in your coffee and stir it clockwise. That's it. That's all you got to do. Sounds simple. But tell yourself that you will have more sweetness. I deserve sweetness. I invite sweetness into my life. And then drink your coffee. Go about your day and see what happens. You can also say, you can also ask the universe to give you more sweetness. Ask them to give you something within the next 24 hours. See what happens. And then see what happens. I'm telling you. Ask them to show you a sign. Show me a cardinal. See what happens. Yeah, the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Why do you feel like you can't go after your dreams? Why specifically are you not allowed to go after your dreams? Why? Why do you feel that way? Why do you feel like you don't deserve it? Whoever told you that's a liar. You see how they're looking? They're mean mugging whoever told you that. That lie, that manipulation. If I could, I'd give you a hug, my sweet friend. This irritates me. Like, truly, I remember this energy. I have been this. Specifically this. I have been here. It is not a fun energy to remember. But you can leave it behind. I did. And the only difference between me and you is I am in my meat suit and you are in yours. Okay? I say it all the time here. Yes. You need to stop telling yourself that you don't deserve your own happiness. That's some bullshit lie that someone else told you, someone else made you feel, and you don't got to subscribe to that. Just because someone has an opinion doesn't make it a fact. I don't care who they are. I don't care how long you've been together. I don't care how much of a rock they've been at some point in your life. I don't care what kind of nonsense they've told you that made you feel good. No. I don't care if it's the Pope. If the Pope is making you feel like shit, stop listening. Stop listening. Yeah, Ace of Wands. Yeah, stop listening and get your fire back. That Hephaestus in the mythos is treated so badly by all the other gods. They treat him terribly. But this is a master artisan, right? He has all this talent. He makes the most beautiful things. He doesn't deserve any of the crap he's been through, but he's still a god. Do you not realize that? You're still divine. You're still a queen. You're still a king. You're still a ruler. You're still divine. You don't deserve this cycle. You keep telling yourself, I deserve it. No, you don't. I don't care what you did in the past. You don't need to punish yourself for the rest of your life. At some point, your sentence is over. Hephaestus. Check him out. He had a rough time, okay? If you have triggers around abuse and that kind of stuff, do not look into his story, okay? Not until we've healed some of that. He's had a rough time, okay? But he's still a god, okay? Just like you. Just because you've been through it, just because you've had a rough time, does not mean you are unlovable, does not mean that you are unworthy, does not mean that you deserve a single second of what you've been through. Okay? Not a second, not a moment, not a word, not a single bit. I think I just bumped you guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me light another incense. I'm getting really irritated for this. If I could, whoever's in here that's going through a really abusive relationship, I really wish I could go fight them right now because I'm really mad. I'm really mad at whoever this is because you don't deserve it at all. You sweet little being. You don't deserve it 1 second, 1 moment at all. And if you're just someone who overworks yourself to death, you don't deserve that either, okay? We don't deserve to work until we're in the grave. Not at all. You're welcome. You too, friend. I hope you get lots of healing. I will post this little shortened video after I'm done, so if you want to check that out and get more guidance, please do. Please do, because y'all need it. Y'all really need it. Okay. I'm gonna give some cleansing, for real. Because, like, no, not my collective, no. Last card for what they need to do at this time. And then I will go into the recap for the shortened video after this and the Oracle advice cards to help you on your journey before I release you into the wilds. But we have the energy shift. So it's like, because you're now aware of your truth, of the suffering, you can do something about it. Because it's when we're asleep and we're not awake that we continue to let the cycle play out. It's when we wake up that we actually have the power in our hands to do something about it, to make the change, to do something. So what else do I need to do at this time, Spirit? Every time I put this snake ring on, I don't do it often, but every time I do, I always end up doing a reading about somebody pulling some nonsense on someone else. Every time. And there's nothing wrong with snakes, but it's like every time. Every time. And it makes me so mad. So mad. Last one, and then let me calm down. I'm shuffling too hard, and that's not respectful to these guys. Last card for what they need to do at this time. Spirit, please and thank you. King of Swords. And there's that Queen of Wands again. The Queen of Wands. I told you, you're the Queen of Wands. You're this absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous little deity right here. You're the manifesting queen. You may not realize it yet, but you are. Just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it's not true. And the King of Swords here with Uranus. You're already intelligent, right? We need to take all of that desire for change, all that beautiful energy, that fire, that creation, and we need to start making plans. We need to start making some plans. Little man, can you turn that down, please? Thank you. Let's see. So, I'm now feeling called to pull my Oracle advice cards. But before I do that, let me do a little recap. I like to post a little summarized video at the end for anyone who couldn't make the live. So I'll do a quick recap, and then I will jump into the Oracle advice to give you a little bit more food for thought to help you move forward with clarity on your path, on your journey. So, this collective has been confronted with a truth recently. They've gone inside and are shining some lights on a truth that they've been hiding for a while. And they are now currently having a bit of a crisis of faith on their own lives and are a bit guarded towards working with spirit on addressing their unhappiness. You've been looking at your life and you've been rather unhappy with what you've brought into your life. Energy is shifting though, because again, when you are awake and aware, you're able to do something about it. Right now, we're trying to leave behind some internalized pain from the past, but we're still not making plans. We're not making any plans at the moment because we're going back and forth on whether or not to work with spirit. We're kind of blocking our own victories. We're blocking our own victory, our own balancing of our inner divine masculine and feminine energies, our ambitious go-getter energy, and our intuitive, gentle, nurturing side. We're in this energy of we're not quite sure if embracing our whimsy, if pursuing new avenues of our own emotions is even worth it, right? Blue is also self-expression, so having a talk about it, kind of getting back into that area of our lives. We've been really hypercritical about it, or dealing with someone who's super hypercritical about us even being just a little bit unserious, right? We kind of have this feeling of it could be someone also instilling into us that, oh, you're not really worth shit. You're not really worth anything. You can't really bring anything into life. You're useless, blah, blah, blah. You're lazy, blah, blah, blah. That kind of stuff, which I'm going to not say how I feel about it. It makes me mad. They basically feel like you're not a Queen of Wands, right? They're making you feel like you're not in your power. They're taking your crown away from you, which makes you feel like you can't bring your own happiness in, and constantly carrying around these burdens and responsibilities and these lies so that you won't leave. You won't leave this shaky foundation. You won't leave this lifestyle that keeps you stuck in a never-ending loop of suffering, right? Perhaps it's a family situation where we feel like, oh, I made it. I'm successful. I have a family. I can't leave. Because if I'm with a partner, if the parents stay together, it's not a broken home. Even though that partner treats me like crap and is showcasing to my children that that's what love is. Because people have this weird notion that leaving that and being a single parent with children is a broken home, when it's not, because the children should be with the person who's the healthy one, right? We're refusing to let the lightning strike. We're refusing to have the tower. We're refusing to let the foundation crumble. We're afraid of it. 1 second. Buddy, little man, turn it down, please. Thank you. So, thank you. Thank you for your patience. This is where we are. We're going back and forth, juggling our priorities, trying to figure out what to do. We're very much unfulfilled, unhappy with our current situation. We keep looking back at our priorities. Maybe if I make more time. Maybe if I pick up another side hustle. Maybe if I learn how to be a better communicator. Maybe if I just, if I work out more, Maybe if I keep doing that, I will bring forward my happiness. Maybe if I just keep doing that, my unhappiness will change itself. It'll meet me in the middle. Your desire for change is perfectly fine. It's absolutely fine. But your intuition keeps nudging you. That's why you woke up, by the way. Your intuition keeps nudging you and saying, this is not what you wanted. This is not what you wanted. And now we're drowning in our memories drowning in our emotions over those memories. The key to getting our flowers is leaving that old energy behind, right? We're so guarded against it. We're so guarded against our own victory, right? Our intuition keeps calling us towards balancing the ego and the positive side, right? We're refusing to work with spirit on the things they're trying to bring in. They keep trying to bring it in. They keep trying to bring in the new opportunities. They keep trying, but we're too busy focusing on what's not there. We're not recognizing that the opportunities are coming in over and over again. The energy's shifting though. Again, we've been aware. Once you're aware, you can't go back to sleep. You're aware the energy is shifting. The energy is shifting towards leaving behind these awful, awful feelings, these hurtful words being hurled at you, these hurtful thought patterns being in your life, and realizing that all this stuff hasn't really brought anything to your life. It's not really doing anything. It's not giving you the results you asked for, and that it's time to go. It's time for you and your inner child, or if you're a parent, it's time for you and your kids to get up out of there, okay? Again, use your own discernment, right? You know your situation best, right? We're currently grieving. We're grieving because we've been carrying sticks that aren't ours in the first place. We have been carrying the load, all the burden, and we're still grieving. We're still grieving. We're not in our abundant era. We don't feel loved. We don't feel like anything's really working for us. Right? It's time to leave it behind. It's time to get to the point where we put down the sticks and we grieve what could have been and we move forward. We leave behind the self-sabotaging behaviors and the nightmares of feeling like we deserve this treatment, we deserve this punishment, we deserve all of this. And that we need to hold on for dear life in order to keep the illusion of being stable because we're comfortable in the song and dance. What we need to do about it at this time is you need to make a decision, friend, with this Four of Pentacles. Do you let that comfortable dance continue to hold you back? Do you hold on to it for the fear of not looking like you're stable, of being comfortable in the suffering? Do you stay there? Do you continue to hold to the pattern of suffering? Do you continue to do that song and dance? Is that what you want? Or do you run forward? Do you take all that motivation and run forward towards a better life? Take the happy memories and go. Get back into what makes you you. Get back into your inner child. Get back into that beautiful energy that you have always been in, that beautiful, warm, kind, loving energy. And go after your happiness. Your current song and dance isn't getting you there. You're in this, like I said, we're in this Empress in the reversed. We're in this Three of Wands in reversed. And the Devil. We're in this constant cycle repeat of feeling like we don't deserve our own happiness. You know, we keep trying to make the Empress energy work and it's just not working. None of the ships are coming into the harbor. We feel like we don't deserve them. The Empress receives. We feel like we don't deserve them. Spirit says, it's a judgment call time. You're scared. This is the deity of nightmares. There's this constant going back and forth, punishing ourselves in our own head, keeping ourselves in mental prisons, telling ourselves all the reasons why we deserve our own suffering. And Spirit says, that's enough. This is your wake-up call. We're waking you up. You're allowing this suffering. Okay? You're being way too hypercritical of yourself. We need for you to actually recognize that you're the Queen of Swords. You're the queen. You're the king. You're the person who has the power. And you're using your own brain to torment yourself. Right? Whether that's believing the words being told to you by someone else or believing your own subconscious from people who used to project on you because they chose to stay in the pattern of suffering and then told you that it was okay to live that life. Okay? We need a break. Hello, friend. We need a break. This is not the time to wish that those memories would just disappear. Those memories will bring you your power. Those memories are what forged your crown. Okay? You're the King of Cups. It's not time to drown in our emotions and wish that they would disappear. Okay? It's time to break free of that pattern. It's time to stick to what actually makes us happy. Okay? It's time to follow the path of our own happiness. It's time to let that tower come in. It's time to let the foundation crumble. That foundation is shit. All right? Just straight up. It's garbage. You know it's garbage. It's time to let it crumble. It's time to let it crumble. It's time to recognize that you deserve reciprocal energy. That you deserve for other people to meet you where you're at. You deserve a life where you are not busting your ass, working 90 hours a week, and never having a moment to enjoy your life. You deserve the reciprocal energy. Okay? That's where the healing comes in. That's where it comes in. Yes, it's time to put that work in towards leaving behind your mental prison. Time to put in that work towards finding your own happiness. Yes, the tower falling is scary, but you know what comes after the tower? The healing. You don't heal in the environment that destroys you. You don't heal around the people who break you down. You heal when you are free from them. You heal when you are free from those mindsets, when you are free from that environment. Okay? This feeling of, I don't deserve the recognition, I don't deserve my happiness, I don't deserve my dreams, is bullshit. It's a lie. It's a lie. Like, look how they're looking. It's a lie somebody told you. It's a lie. And once you recognize that, that's where the motivation comes in. That's where the spark comes in. You're like Hephaestus. You've been through enough. And Hephaestus, the god who was beaten, broken, abused, and treated like garbage by the other gods, is still a god. He doesn't stop being a god because the other gods are mean to him. Just like you. You're still a perfectly capable, lovable, worthy person. even if life has been a little rough, and some people have opinions. Just because they have opinions doesn't make it a fact. I don't care what you did, all right? You're still the Queen of Wands. You're still the King of Swords, all right? You're still that person who is full of fire, who is full of creativity, who is full of passion. You're still a very kind, caring person. You're still gorgeous. It's time for you to make some plans. It's time for you to make some plans and actually go after what you want, okay? So, that's the recap. Let's get into the Oracle advice cards, okay? I'm being drawn to use a brand new deck that I've had for the past few days. And let's see what we can get into here. It's a bit of a darker energy deck, so it may actually vibe really well with this collective, honestly, because it's definitely in that era of suffering, funnily enough. I've spent quite a few times going over it. Buddy, I need you to turn that down, please. Thank you. So, Mushu with the dragon just shouted, "I live." Well, there you go. It's Mushu here saying, "I live," and wanting to know who needs their protection. You do. Little dragon showing up to protect you. That's funny, because I got dragons earlier, and they're a symbol of protection, power, wisdom, and transformation. So, let's, Spirit, ease their fears and anxieties at this time. Help them to get the clarity that they need in order to walk their path with more confidence, with more clarity, and just bring some power, some happiness, some healing, some love to these beautiful friends here. Give them the advice that they need to continue forward, Spirit. Thank you. Closing advice from my collective at this time, Spirit. And thank you all again for being here so late, my little night owls. For your likes, your shares, your questions, your comments. I really do appreciate it. I really do. And for your gifts. I really do appreciate it. The first closing advice is the eternal bloom. The eternal bloom. The eternal bloom talks about wisdom, beauty in wisdom. So this is that feeling. Again, the 17 with the star. A lot of times we feel like if I let the tower fall, that means I've wasted my time. I've wasted my time. No, there's beauty in wisdom. You went through what you went through so that you can carry those lessons, that wisdom with you, so that you know what you will no longer tolerate. Whether that's a job, a relationship, whatever the case may be. You went through what you went through in order to gain the wisdom to never have to go through that again. To understand what your boundaries are, to understand where your power lies. Right? There's beauty in wisdom. That doesn't mean you continue to suffer for the rest of your life, right? You do the suffering at first in order to gain the lesson, in order to choose yourself, so that your life becomes easier, so that you no longer have to suffer. It's so funny. We don't come here to suffer, but humans have this innate desire to suffer. We teach each other that suffering is the point of life, and that's not true. The falcons cry. And we often feel like Spirit's not with us, but they always are. They're always there. Any more advice from my collective at this time, Spirit? Thank you. The ascending flame. Oh, beautiful. There's this, we feel like we won't rise from the flames. If you're someone who's watched the Game of Thrones, and you've watched and you were a fan of Khaleesi, you will be the same. You will walk through the flames. She went through so much BS, and then she realized that she was the queen and walked in it. It's the same thing. There's beauty in the wisdom, and feeling like we can't be the phoenix. We can't rise from the ashes. Why? Why can't you rise from the ashes? Why can't you be a beautiful firebird? Why not? Who told you that? They're a liar. The blooming decay. Yes, there's beauty in decay, right? You can't, if it's not working, let it go. Let it end. Because when things end, new life springs forth. New things come out. New growth happens. Okay? Gosh, this deck's so pretty. Oh my God, the dragon, the guardian flame. Do you really feel like you are not protected? Look it. I said I saw Shinra from Dragon Ball. Or Shenron. The Dragon Ball fans know. It's Shinra or Shenron. I don't quite remember. They're there. They're there. They're protecting you. The reason you're awake is because they're protecting you. They've had enough. They've had enough of watching you willfully choose to continue to take this bullshit. And they're saying, wake up. Wake up. Choose yourself. This is the time. Choose yourself, my friends. Rise from the ashes. Let the growth happen. Let what needs to die, die. Okay? Let it end. And just because it ends doesn't mean you failed. It takes two to ruin a relationship. If you've been doing all of the work and they're not meeting you in the middle, you did the work. You're not the failure here. And I hate to assign blame, but it really does take two. If you're over here doing this and they're over there doing all of this, how the heck are you supposed to make that work? How is that your fault? You're where you're supposed to be. They're not. They're over here flailing about in the wind. Why is that your fault? Why do you feel like that's your fault? Why are you solely responsible for whether or not it works? What are you talking about? You're already there. If they don't meet you halfway, if your tango partner won't tango with you, you can't do the dance. That's not your fault. Yeah, the harbinger. This is the 11. Justice. The justice is coming. The dragon's coming. They've had enough. The justice is coming. Okay? So whoever's in this really abusive relationship, I need for you to know that the dragon's on its way and they've had enough. Okay? And if it's more of a mindset, this is the harbinger, this is the justice. It's the message, it's the clarity. It's coming in to tell you that you are protected and you need to work with spirit, because this nonsense you've been living in is just hurting you and hurting you and hurting you and hurting you. And you're willfully choosing the hurting now. And they've had enough. Enough is enough. And it's not like it's doom and gloom. Again, I'm not telling you this in order to scare you. This is needed. This is that moment in time where the karmic balance needs to be corrected, right? You've learned the karmic lesson. It's time for that tie to end. It's time for that thought process to end. It's time for you to wake up and choose yourself. You can choose to stay. You can choose. Again, free will must be respected. That's the number one law in the universe. But now you're awake and you're aware. Now it's okay. You're aware that this sucks. You're aware that there's not much you can do about it. If you choose to continue, you are willfully choosing to continue until the next time that the opportunity presents itself for you to make a change. So again, you'll always be on the right path, right? Because life is an ever crooked path and you are never off of it. right? I'm not telling you you're going to make the wrong choice. It's a matter of, do we want to continue making that little loop? Do we want the journey to take longer? Or do we want to continue forward? What do you want to do? You choose. It's your free will. They're not going to force it. They're not going to force it. Because if you don't do anything about it, it's going to end. Whatever it is. If it's the relationship will end itself because this person will ruin it. They're already doing it. It's just going to continue. Like, at some point, there will be a breaking point, right? But it will not be your fault. You can either choose to leave early before everything goes balls up, or you can wait until it goes balls up and it gets really messy. That number 15, yeah. We can wait for when that devil energy finally implodes and becomes the tower, or we can recognize the devil energy for where it is, that temperance, balancing things out and going, oop, and getting off and jumping off the boat. Being like the rat, leaving early, leaving at the first sign. They often say that if the rats are jumping off the ship, you should follow because the rats are smart. You should never wait. If all the rats leave the ship, you should go with the rats because they know something no one else does. This is that point where it's the rats are leaving the ship. Do you go or do you stay? And never be a ride or die for someone that gives you half-assed energy. I swear to the cosmos, okay? I know this energy. I am a person who can be a ride or die, right? I've been that person. I've been in that narrative. Never be the ride or die for the person who's willing to end your life in the car. Okay? If they're not even cool enough to pick up their damn socks, even though you've asked them 30 million times, don't ride or die for them. Don't do that. If you've communicated and communicated and communicated and put in the effort, do not be that person for them. They don't deserve it, period, point blank. I don't care who they were at the start, all right? Don't do that. They're showing who they are now. Believe them now, all right? The mask came off. They're comfortable now. They feel like you'll never go anywhere. So now they're showing you who they really are. Jump off the boat. Get off the boat. Sorry. I get so mad when I see this type of energy. It makes me so mad. But you know your situation. Not everyone here is in that kind of relationship, okay? If it's your mindset, if it's a lifestyle you've chosen, they're just letting you know. You're aware now that that's hurting you. What do you want to do with it? Because the justice is coming. The scales will be balanced. Do we want to take the scenic route? Do we want to continue going in a loop? What do we want to do? Path of serenity. Oh, when I say the path of serenity, someone here could be 41. Look at that beautiful path, my friend. Life is an ever crooked path and you are never off of it. Why don't you go on the nice path with the nice view? Why don't we go on that beautiful path? Why not? Why not take the really pretty path instead? Yeah, the scenic route. Shall we take the scenic route? I'll go with you on the scenic route. We can go together. What a beautiful, I would be so happy to go on this path. There's not a single stable footing anywhere on this path, but I sure would love to take it. It's so pretty. Any other advice for my collective at this time, Spirit? Thank you so much for your likes. Oh my goodness. Thank you again. I know I've gotten really heated in this, but I truly feel like people are so stuck in this narrative that they deserve suffering, that they have somehow earned their pain, and it doesn't make sense to me at all. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you. I really do appreciate you guys giving me anything. You don't have to. It's not expected, but it's really appreciated, truly. Any other advice at this time? And yeah, don't tell whoever this person is. If there are people in your life who seem to need to know every single thing you're doing, stop telling them your plans. They don't need to know. All right? Do you notice that the cards haven't said a whole lot? That usually means keep your mouth shut. Stop talking. Aw. I'm sorry this resonated. A lot of times when I get into energies like this, I'm like, man, I hope that I am just tripping today because I don't want anyone to resonate with this. Because I've been here. I don't want that for y'all. Any other advice, Spirit? Okay. Any other advice, or is that it for today? I wish you so much healing and love. I really do. I really do. I hope that you really, truly realize how powerful you are and how much you are actually like, you are so loved. You really are. You are loved and you are way more powerful than you think, and you don't deserve any of this. Root of creation. Yes. Another dragon, the eternal serpent. Dragons are heavy for you, okay? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You are so powerful, friend. Yes, you are. You are surrounded by powerful spirits, and you are powerful yourself. 33. That's important for somebody. The root of creation. This is a call to pay attention to your own thoughts, right? Your thoughts can create, they can create and destroy. Okay? There it is. You see how it has this little dot up here, the yin and yang? It can create and destroy. Use your brain for something else. Stop using your brain as your judge, jury, and executioner. Okay? Your brain is better used at bringing forth your happiness than it is punishing you, okay? Because, I mean, look at the difference of these two. This brain, destroying, destruction, rotting, growth, beautiful creations, all that passion. Use it for that. Use it for your wisdom. Use it for your power, okay? And a lot of times, if you've been through this, you're like, I deserve this, I should stay here. No. The reason you went through this, maybe you're the person you will see someone going through this and you will tell them to leave earlier. You'll be the person who brings that clarity to someone in the future and helps them leave earlier, who helps them stop suffering earlier, okay? Turn that into power, my friend. Yeah, like when your friend comes up and tells you about their person and you're like, no, no, I've been there. No. Yeah, that could be you someday. You could be the reason that you could save someone's life doing that. The bleeding roots. This is a call also to get back to where you came from. Get back to your roots. Okay? Get back to the core of who you are. Last one, and then I'll let you guys go, because I've been here for way too long. But I really just want to do something. I want to bring something, some kind of, I just don't like that you're in such a heavy energy, and I wish I could do something about it. If you can, obsidian would be a beautiful thing to have. If you don't have access to obsidian, black tourmaline also works. They are two different types of stones. They're black. They offer protection and grounding. Black tourmaline absorbs negative energies into itself, and obsidian is much more of a grounding and protecting spirit, but spirit stone. So it's just helpful. It's helpful in taking more of the negative energy being projected onto you than anything else. And they're not over expensive. The black tourmaline especially, you can get them in, you're welcome. You can get them in rather affordable like necklaces that are minimalistic. You can get them in little worry stones so that you can have it in your pocket and rub on it with your thumb when you're going through anxious times. It's helpful. Last one, and then I will release them to the wilds. Let's give them a little bit. Another dragon, the Fire Warden. I think you've gotten every single dragon card in this deck. I'm pretty sure, I'm checking, that you got every single dragon in this deck. If you feel like you are not protected, Spirit is here and they are angry. I'm so for real right now. Yeah, that's every single dragon in this deck. The Guardian Flame, the Eternal Serpent, and the Fire Warden. Are you kidding me? Listen, I don't know why you think you're not protected. You got every single dragon here. Okay? They are not pleased. They are not pleased with the nonsense you're going through, and they are not having it, clearly. They are not having it. All they need is your permission. And you are also this energy. Like, if you really feel like you are not a phoenix or a dragon, you are. You got all those cards. That's crazy. And there's 3 dragons for another 3. Collaboration and communication. Spirit wants to work with you so bad. They keep offering the opportunity, but they have to respect your free will. They have to wait for you to take their hand. They have to wait. They can't force it. There's some things that can happen regardless, but that's not necessarily because you're being punished. And there's the release. In the reverse, that means we are avoiding the release. We are suppressing things. You notice how, like, they're exhaling, they're letting go of all the negative thoughts, they're speaking their truth here. We're resisting this. We're resisting this. You need to breathe your fire, my friends. You're the dragon. Breathe your fire. Yeah. Breathe your fire. Spirit's watching. Spirit's watching. They're guarding you. They're making sure. They're wanting you to stand on business. They're wanting you to protect yourself. Let the ashes fall. Let the tower crumble. Rise from the ashes. Okay? Let the ashes fall and then rise from the ashes. Breathe your fire. Okay? Yeah. The Ascendant Warlord. That's you, friend. Look at this. You're badass. You're a dragon, a phoenix, a sentinel, and a warlord. Like all the crazy powerful. Oh my god. I apologize. There was a 4th dragon. And it's right there. All right. I'm not going to yell at you anymore. Like, it's clear to me. Like, if you still don't believe that you're worth a shit after this, I don't know what to tell you. You can ask me a question, but I'm not doing personals right now. So I can just answer it off the rip. It's up to you if you want to listen. That's crazy. Go ahead and ask me a question. I'll give you a second. But will she be back in your life if she hurt you? No. And if she does come back, no. Yeah, that's what I got. No. If it's someone who hurt you, if it's someone who really dragged you through the mud, the answer is no. No. If they show up, they don't deserve your time, attention, or grace. Point blank, period. So that's all I have for you, friends. I am so sorry for whoever this resonated for, at least for your suffering. You will become the dragon. There's so many dragons here. It's going to happen. You are a force of nature. And when you finally realize that and step into your power, God help whoever is on the receiving end of that. If you want a personal reading, I offer those at the link in my bio. If you watch this in the YouTube video after I post it, it's in the description box down below. But feel free to check that out. Again, I've updated the offerings so that it's not so confusing. I offer a 3 spread, right? of tarot cards and a Celtic Cross 10 spread. With the tarot cards, you also get oracle advice. You get the dice, the runes, the charms, any sign synchronicities, songs, anything I pick up comes with it. It is not just 3 cards or 10 cards, okay? I plan on offering videos and stuff like that in the future once I've figured my life out. But yes, feel free to check that out, see if I vibe with you. Thank you all so much for your time, your energy, for choosing me to be your reader this fine, beautiful evening. If I do not vibe with you and this is the last I see of you, thank you again for being here. I wish you so much love, happiness, success, abundance, health, wealth, love, joy, all of it on your journey. Remember that life is an ever crooked path and you are never off of it, my friend. And if you have chosen to follow me, if you do vibe with me, I can't wait to see you in the next one. I also wish you all the same. So I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day and a beautiful rest of your journey. Thank you. Bye.